This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Top beer, top beer, top beer.
So welcome everyone to another episode of Top Beer. I'm your host, Adrian Dottore. With me is my beautiful co-host, Timothy Robert Buckner. Can I credit you that way, or do you have a different way of crediting you? I think that's fine, right?
That's fine.
I still have you on my phone as Timbo Slice, by the way.
Nice.
I still have your picture.
to the big man.
Yeah, I still have your picture as the one when we did that Joker sketch, or that Batman sketch, and you were dressed as a Joker.
Jesus, that's like decades ago.
I know.
At this point.
I've just never bothered to change it. So that's a little slice of reality for those of you listening to this and wondering.
Well, speaking of Timbo Slice and a slice of reality, Baby Slice, the I guess what is the survived son of Kimbo Slice, where my namesake, I guess, or where my nicknamesake came from. I think he just had his debut, his first fight.
How did that go?
First professional fight. I don't know. I didn't watch it, but as we're recording, it just happened. I'll go check that out, see how Baby Slice did. But yeah, that's kind of funny, Adrian.
And I am out of the loop on this. How did Kimbo Slice die? What happened? And how recently was this?
Heart problem. Pretty recent, and something to do with his heart, I'm gonna guess.
Did that shake up the world of wrestling?
He was not a wrestler. But
or what was it? What was he?
He was an MMA fighter.
MMA. Okay. I keep hearing this Corden McGregor guy. Is this guy big in the MMA scene right now?
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor, right.
Probably the biggest star. He's got 2 championship belts in UFC, something no one has ever done before. He talks a mean game and he backs it up. So yeah, he's kind of a big shot.
And not to get too far off topic, but I read an article or a headline today anyway, because everybody just reads the headlines on the internet, as you know. Ronda Rousey had 2 films that she was slated to do that were canceled because the studio, quote unquote, didn't trust her acting ability. So it's kind of
not great.
It's funny how the mighty have fallen. I remember a while ago we did an episode and you were saying a lot of great things about her. But what happened? What happened, Tim? Why did she fall from grace? What happened?
She lost a fight and she just kind of fell off.
I don't get that though. People lose fights all the time, don't they?
Not her. That was the first time she really lost.
I mean, Mike Tyson never lost a fight. I mean,
yeah, but that's different. I mean, he lost. He did. He had lost. He had come up his whole life losing. Like, she's won her whole life. She's not a good loser. And it's pretty openly known by most people. She's never been good at losing. She doesn't take it well. So she lost the biggest fight, or I guess you could say it's the biggest loss of her career. And she went into a dark place.
Well, that's kind of sad. I mean, you have to wonder what's next for her. I mean, she's got to do something. I mean, I'm sure she has enough fuck you money to retire for the rest of her life, but still, like, that can't be the end of Ronda Rousey. I don't know. I mean, I don't follow that whole scene. You would know more than me. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, she could get into wrestling if she wanted to, easily. She can. I mean, they may have canceled those movies because they were worried about her acting, but someone else will take her. She can always just do a different movie. Like, I guarantee someone will just go for it based on her name value and not worry about her acting being up to snuff. So, I mean, she'll bounce back. She'll land on her feet.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if she doesn't, at the end of the day, she still is a millionaire, so I'm sure she'll be fine, financially at least.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right, but anyway, let's not get too top-heavy. Tim, we're doing stouts today.
We are. We're drinking stouts, and we're doing them.
And I think we mentioned this before about stouts. And there is a difference between stouts and porters, and I did have some notes that I saved on this, and I'll have to pull those up in a second. But from what I remember reading, I think stouts are generally stronger than porters, which we did last top year episode. And I noticed that the stouts I got tonight, the ABV on these bad boys is a little bit higher than the porters I did last week. So did you find that, Tim? Did you find that when you?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally higher alcohol, but not all of them. Some of them still are not necessarily super high alcohol, so it runs the gambit a little bit, especially now. I mean, styles are kind of almost arbitrary.
Yeah.
In some ways in beer, it's like guys are kind of pushing the pushing the limits of what beers are. We've had saisons that were up in the 7-8 range, when saison typically is a low alcohol French farmhouse beer, and then you can get barley wines or stouts that are down in the fives. So everyone's going all over the place.
Here's what I noticed. You mentioned running the gambit. I think and maybe it's just me. I think stouts run the gambit more as far as different types of flavors they incorporate, because I noticed with porters, it's like, yeah, there's chocolate porters and there's like other kinds of, mostly the same kinds of porters that I've seen. With stouts, like, and you'll find tonight, there's chocolate stouts, there's coffee stouts, there's milk stouts. Well, this is called that anyway. So I don't know. Maybe it seems like a stout is more more diverse. Is that the right word? In flavor, maybe.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say it's probably because stouts are a little heftier. They have a little bit more of a solid backbone and flavor profile. So they're messed with a little bit more because they can kind of support that in the brewer's mind. You can kind of support going a little bit further out there with different stuff. Plus, it's also stouts, because of their heavier, roastier effects, they kind of balance out with the milk and the creaminess in ways that a lot of other beers don't. But you are starting to see, as they call it, the adjunct brewing, where they're just adding in a lot of like, fruits and vegetable extracts to beers, stuff like watermelon and even chili peppers and stuff to beers. So it's starting to open up more, but I think you're right that typically, originally, when the craft beer kind of explosion thing was happening, stouts were the ones that were getting kind of some of the weirder takeoffs on the style.
Yeah, definitely. And I find that interesting, because when I was browsing the store that I go to, I was like, oh man, there's so many there's just so many different kinds of different flavors of stouts. Like, there's not, like with IPAs, like you don't see, like, you're not going to see a chocolate IPA. You know what I mean? You're not going to see you may see a chocolate IPA. I don't know how good it would be. But with stouts, it seems to me like you can, like, you see different flavor varieties that
It's true.
came with other beers. So anyway, do you want to open her up, or should I crack her open? What do you think?
Yeah, either way, go for it. You can go, I guess.
Okay, awesome. So my first beer tonight, Tim, this is from, and by the way, all my beers tonight, well, two of my three beers tonight are local or Colorado beers. This one is from Fort Collins Brewery. This is called the Shot Down Chocolate Stout. Okay. It's an interesting looking can, I guess. The description on the side: a lush dark beer brewed with bittersweet chocolate. This stout has a fearless flavor profile of caramel, rich coffee, and chocolate that can be enjoyed any day of the year. Never be afraid to get shot down, Tim. Family owned and operated since 2003. Pairs well with pork mole or cinnamon coffee cake. Ale brewed with bittersweet chocolate. So yeah, this is a shot down stout. On it there is a cartoonish, well, not cartoonish, a sort of a drawing of a blonde woman with a piece of chocolate in her mouth, looking very seductively at you. And there's a kiss smear, or not a kiss smear, a kiss thing on the can as well. And that's pretty much it. It's a 5.8 ABV, and yeah, so it's a little above average as far as strength goes, I guess. So let's go ahead and try that. Oh, I can already smell the chocolate. Just the second I cracked it open, I could literally smell it. All right.
Nice.
So I'm going to pour that. Oh, that is dark. I got some on my pants. Damn it. I just washed these pants, Tim. Oh, and that's really cold. I'm such a mess.
Jesus.
The head on this...
You are falling apart.
I really am. The head on this looks like the foam you would see on a chocolate milkshake. Like, no joke, you know? That's how brown it is.
Really?
Yeah, it's exactly that. Oh, God, that's cold. Hang on. Sorry.
Cold and spilled on you.
Yeah, really. It's very dark. It's got that really dark color that you would expect from a stout, I guess. It's you put it through the light, and you can barely see through it, but the little light that does go through it, it's kind of very, very crimson, I guess would be the right word. Let's smell it. Oh, yeah. That smells like a stout, but like that smells like a chocolatey semi. You have a little hint of a coffee in the aroma there, you know. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and give her a try, shall we?
That's what it's all about.
That reminds me of the I don't know if it's just me, man. It reminds me of that dark style Baba whatever from Uinta Brewing, but
Baba Black Lager.
Baba Black Lager. But this tastes better. This isn't as bitter as that. This actually does have it's slightly more creamy, not as a little bit more sweet, but not as sweet, and it's not doesn't have as much of a bite as the Black Lager, and I appreciate that because I hate when a beer has too much of a bite to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
And
I get what you're saying. It doesn't have that kind of overpowering, and it even sometimes like convalesces into a mouthfeel of like just an overall tang and bitterness from being just a little bit too roasted and even coming across burnt.
Oh yeah, and there's no like the roasty sort of flavor profile. I don't know if you'd call it that. Is not too. It's very subdued. Like everything is balanced well. Like that roastiness, that chocolatiness, that sort of coffeeness that you would expect from this type of beer. I think it's balanced really well. And it's funny because I know that the Four Colons Brewery is inherently like not regarded as that great of a brewery.
Really?
Yeah. From what I read a couple things on the Colorado beer subreddit. But this isn't bad. This is a good stout, Tim, and I have the rate beer score pulled up. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
50-38.
Ooh,
That's harsh.
Adrian, you just might be a bad beer drinker. I think.
I think I am because I like this. I could drink this like regularly, not all the time, but I could drink it regularly. Like if I saw this and I wanted a stout and I didn't recognize anything else, I would get this because this is actually really good. But maybe I am a bad beer drinker. Who knows? I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe they're just a bunch of snobs. Who knows?
Yeah. So, 50-38. I mean, I guess it's not a great score. It's like a below average score, but
No, it's not great.
I like it. I think it tastes good. And it's just delicious. What do you have for us tonight, Tim?
We're talking about being local. I'm local too here. I've got from Boonte Valley, California. It's our old friends from Anderson Valley, or I guess it's Boonteville. Our old buddies at Anderson Valley. They're a little bit further north. They're probably like, they're not quite northern California. It's what they call Central Coast area, I think is where they're at. Awesome labeling. The bear with the deer horns is great, and this is the Barney Flats Oatmeal Stout. And
Ooh.
give that a nice little open. I love their stupid little cap. It's so funny. The cap doesn't fit their overall aesthetic because it kind of looks like a cheesy hippie thing, but it's a sun to denote that they're a solar powered brewery. But the rest of their kind of artwork doesn't look the same kind of hippie-ish, so it's just funny. It like doesn't really ever fit.
It's like my friend Eric McLeod. Do you remember my friend Eric McLeod?
I remember.
He would dress as a cowboy, a wannabe cowboy, because he was a fan of Stevie Ray Vaughan. Is a fan of Stevie Ray Vaughan. And Stevie Ray Vaughan wears like a cowboy hat, and he has like that sort of Western aesthetic, sort of not super cowboyish, but And my friend Eric McLeod would wear that, and then he'd wear a fucking peace sign necklace around his neck. And I'm like, Eric, you have two conflicting styles going on here. I feel like a cowboy dude wouldn't be down with the whole peace bullshit, and I feel like a hippie wouldn't be down with the whole cowboy getup. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's kind of like that, but worse.
Putting a gimmick on top of a gimmick.
Exactly.
You don't want to do it, guys.
And
you don't want to do it in wrestling, and you don't want to do it in life.
Maybe that's not the best analogy, but I just like to shit on my friend Eric. So there you go.
Yeah. So the head on this bad boy is a little bit less of that deep chocolatey brown. It's a little tan. It's in between like tannish and gray. Not a super overpowering nose. I've also got the worst allergies in the world, so sometimes I wonder if my nose is just off.
Oh yeah, I have just clogged sinuses all the time. I can never smell anything.
So yeah, not a super. If I smelled this, I wouldn't know what it was. Just from the smell, which is something else. It's kind of deep black, but it's also kind of thin. It's not as thick as you would expect, especially based on all the stuff I was reading about online about the oatmeal stouts, because I was taking a second to look up oatmeal stouts. I don't know if you have it, oatmeal stouts as a style kind of broken down in your little research there that you did. But the oatmeal stouts seem to be the grain profile is, as you would expect, oatmeal, which lends it to a thicker kind of viscous nature. Just because if you've ever made oatmeal, you notice that it has that kind of high kind of gumming property. I think it's God, I can't even think of the word now, but it's a like beta gluten or something like that that gets released when it's boiled, and it kind of starts to turn into essentially that paste, that kind of thick paste that happens with oatmeal. They essentially said, breaking it down, that's why it's fun to brew with. It gives it a smoothness that other grains don't give, and lends itself well to chocolates and coffee notes as well. I'll go ahead and give it a taste.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, really, I just quickly pulled up the Wikipedia on the stout, and yeah, of course, the Guinness Stout, a famous Irish stout, I guess. That was the first beer that I started drinking the outside after college. That I was like, oh, this is better than like that Bud Light shit. So, how does it taste?
It's really sweet. It's sweet. It's velvety and smooth. You could probably just pound these down, honestly. Gives you a little twinge on the back of kind of a roasty, maybe coffee or chocolate. Well, the chocolate's more the flavor profile up front, maybe a little vanilla. Then on the back end, yeah, you get maybe a little roasty coffeeness on the back, but nothing too overpowering, and then it kind of subsides quickly. This is definitely
Mine does the
smooth.
same thing. Mine does the same. It subsides quickly. It's weird. It doesn't stay in your mouth that long. The flavor.
Yeah, no, smooth, easy to drink guy, and we got a ABV of 5.8,
Oh, look at that. The same ABV.
which is, as we were saying before, not super high. And it is a rate beer score of overall, or actually style is 96, overall 94. So this is a
Wow.
highly rated beer. I saw it talked about on a couple blogs. It was I think it was the number 2 on this blog that was saying that, the top 5 oatmeal stouts that you need to try. So it was number 2. So I think it's regarded pretty highly as an oatmeal stout. I could see why. I could definitely drink quite a few of these and really just enjoy myself, and again, not get super drunk and not probably feel too bloated either, because it's not super thick.
Yeah. So we've learned tonight that I'm a bad beer drinker and Tim is a good beer drinker. There you go.
It's true.
And yeah, so I pulled up the Wikipedia page on the stouts, and yeah, so a stout were traditionally the generic term for the strongest or stoutest of porters, typically 7 or 8% produced by a brewery. Okay, so generally speaking, stouts are a little bit stronger than a porter, but it's still under that same sort of, I don't know, family tree of beers, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's within the same style.
But different at the same time.
This is true.
All right, Tim. Well, I think that is good for our first beer. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we will go on to our second beer. What do you think?
Sounds great.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Voice of Ring of Honor's Kevin Kelly here. I just want to make sure you're all subscribed to all of our great feeds here at Place to Be Nation. Now, it's really easy to do. Just head to iTunes or your preferred podcatcher app today and search for and subscribe to the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed, Place to Be Nation pop feed, Pro Wrestling Only feed, and of course, the Kevin Kelly Show feed, which includes the full archives of my podcast. Subscribe, listen, and then rate us and leave feedback today. And of course, as always, enjoy all the great action of Ring of Honor Wrestling and everything presented to you on PlaceToBeNation.com.
Okay, so we're back. Tim.
Yes, sir.
The next beer in my hand, I saw this, and it really stood out to me for 2 reasons. The first reason is that it is from It is from the Santa Fe Brewing Company in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I was there in Albuquerque a month or 2 ago, and the hotel I was staying at was next to Santa Fe Brewing Company. Not the actual brewing where they actually brew the beer. It's like their tap room.
Okay.
And I had some of their beers. They have some delicious IPAs that I recommend if you're ever in Santa Fe or Albuquerque. Definitely try out Santa Fe Brewing Company. And the second reason why it stood out to me was because it is and it says on the can, before noon and afternoon Imperial Java Stout, ale with coffee beans.
Ooh.
And I really love the can because I like minimalism, and the can is super minimalistic. It's a brown can with like a picture, like a little square icon of like a mug, and then a square icon of like a little coffee mug. And yeah, it's super simple. I didn't try this when I was down there, but now I get to try it. So here we go. This is their Imperial Java Stout. So let's see how coffee-ish this smells and tastes like. Ooh, that is super foamy. Oh my god! Wow. That smells exactly like a coffee. Like no joke, Tim. Wow. But the second I opened it, those coffee aromas just kind of started. You know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be interesting. I like coffee, but a coffee is a beer. I don't
Maybe
know.
a little too much coffee, huh?
Yeah. Oh wow. This is got a very thick, light brown head. Uh, it's got that black coffee look. It's not super viscous. It's a little watery. Let's see. Oh yeah, that smells like dark coffee. Like there's a medium coffee and then there's like what's the other kind of there's medium and there's the I guess dark not dark coffee. There's a different word for it. But
Dark roast?
like a dark roast, exactly this. So yeah, this has the smell of a very dark roast type of coffee. Like if I were to drink this as an iced coffee or a hot coffee, like I would need a lot of cream and sugar for this. But let's see. Let's go ahead and taste that bad boy.
Give it a taste. Give it a whirl. I do like the can. The can on that one's really cool.
You looked it up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is super roasty. The
That
job
looks like it's hella good.
it's a little bit bitter, like how you would expect, like if you drink just a coffee black. It's got that bitterness of the coffee. Obviously, it's cold and not a lot of heat from the alcohol, which is kind of surprising. I was kind of expecting that for some reason. This is it's not bad. I like it, but I'm still trying to like wrap my head around it. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's so different from anything I've ever had. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I wonder how that compares to that coffee cider I had that I really didn't like.
It's it not being an actual coffee. It's not as bitter. It's not as strong. Doesn't have that strong of a flavor as an actual coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not something that I would drink all the time. If I'm being perfectly honest.
Okay.
Not because it's bad, but it's like this is something like you just want to try once and then.
It's a bit much.
It's a bit much, but I like that they really balance all the flavors of this, like the coffee flavor with that sort of roasty, almost caramelly flavor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty good though. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I drink this again, but it's not terrible. It's good. I like it.
So you'd never drink it again, or?
I don't know, man. I mean, it tastes too much like coffee almost. In a way, it almost tastes a little bit too much.
But you like coffee. You actually drink coffee.
But I drink it with a lot of cream and sugar. This is like drinking like a black
Oh,
coffee.
you drink it regular?
Yeah, I put lots of cream and sugar in my coffee because I have a bit of a sweet tooth. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah.
So let's see here. I had the rate beer score pulled up, and this is a 98.73, Tim. It's got a really good score.
Huh.
Yeah, this is. Let me read you the description really quick. This is the kind of beer that gives the word stout a reputation. Extra generous quantities of barley, a barley malt, followed by a vigorous fermentation, leaves this imperial heavyweight with 8% alcohol. Wow. And the body is full as a chocolate bread pudding. A complementary and complex array of bitter notes comes from potent American hops, earthy British hops, black roasted malts, and of course coffee. Santa Fe Brewing Company uses only top quality ingredients like organically grown East Timor coffee beans, blended with New Guinea coffee beans, locally roasted by O'Horry's Coffee House. Its heavenly flavor and aroma can't be beat or intimidated. Now, this has a strong aroma for sure. I almost feel like it smells more like a coffee than it tastes. And that maybe that's that's what definitely sets it apart. So, not bad, not a bad beer. Got a pretty good score, I would say. I think I'm doing pretty good so far. What do you think, Tim? Hello.
Hold on, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Sorry. Yeah, I can hear you.
What happened?
Sorry, I unplugged for a second, but I heard you. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying that I was just reading the commercial description for it and stuff, and there's a lot of like interesting sounding ingredients in this beer. I don't know if you want me to repeat them, but there's.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so yes, it's got American hops, British hops, black roasted malts, and of course coffee, which comes from. They have some organically grown East Timor coffee beans blended with New Guinea coffee beans, locally roasted by O'Horry's Coffee House. It's a heavenly flavor and aroma that can't be beat or intimidated. And I was just saying that I feel like it smells more like a coffee than it tastes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's my second beer. What do you got for us, Tim?
My number 2 is familiar from just last week. I think it's nice to kind of compare the two, their porter versus their stout. This is from Stouts. They are up in Bend, Oregon. So it may not be here in California, but we kind of, at least me personally, I kind of accept the Pacific Northwest as our brothers up to the north, especially because I like it up there. I have family up there. So I don't consider the Pacific Northwest to not be part of California, if I'm perfectly honest.
Oh, interesting.
So this is the Stouts Obsidian Stout. It doesn't, I mean, realistically, none of their marketing or anything says anything but stout. I mean, this is just straight up stout. It says deep, robust, rich, rewarding. This beer lingers over its distinct espresso, chocolate, roasted malt, and black barley, with just enough hop bite to cut the sweetness. So we'll see how that goes. But this is just straight up stout. As I said, this is kind of I mentioned it last week. This is looked at kind of one of their trademark beers. This and their porter is kind of what they're known for. Didn't really think about it, but they are from, up north where it gets cold. So they can drink these thicker, darker beers probably more regularly than we can down here. Which, the weather is important, and it was really nice here today that it actually cooled off. I was concerned because it's been warm the past couple of days that we were going to record this stout episode, and I was going to be too hot to even want to drink any of these things. So yeah, depending on where you're at, it really kind of influences your ability to drink these. This is definitely more like what you were talking about with that kind of thick head that looks like a chocolate milk. It's brownish, it's deep, it's rich. You smell this, and definitely coffee comes right into your nose instantly. Get that full kind of roasty, dark aroma. Underneath on their cap, it says "worth sharing" on the bottom of their cap, so that's just letting you know what you're in for. And I'll give it a quick taste.
All right.
Ooh, high gravity. You can see it as it kind of like readjusts after you take a sip. It takes it a little bit to kind of deal with itself and all of its inertia. So yeah, if you think about it, that's kind of these darker, heavier beers. That's why sometimes it's surprising that they're easier to drink, because you've got gravity and inertia on your side. As you start to drink it, just like they say, an object in motion tends to stay in motion.
Right.
That inertia and that, I guess, just force as it's coming down makes the beer want to continue to pour down your throat, and that's happening here. You can kind of tell with just how thick it is.
Now, you said high gravity. For those people listening who aren't sure maybe what that is, and for me, who I think you explained it to once, but I kind of forgot. What is it again?
It's just the thickness of the beer. There's a technical scientific thing to it that the gravity is based on a certain formula, which is what I figured out when I was looking it up last time, explaining it to you. But when it comes down to it, it really is just how kind of thick, how viscous, how thick it is, and how, as opposed to being water, how much it kind of has to it. Yeah, this is a good one. Definitely, I get the espresso. I don't know. I'm not a coffee drinker, so it's tough for me to differentiate between kind of coffee and espresso, but I can, from time to time, kind of pick it up with a beer like this, where it's got that espresso, so it's real dark, real sharp, highly roasted, so that definitely comes through really strong. I'd go get any coffee or any chocolate. A little bit of hop bitterness, as I think that's why the chocolate doesn't come through, just like it says in the commercial kind of release, that it's hopped just to kind of mask the sweetness. So this is kind of bitter through and through. It's definitely stouty. I guess it's a very stout beer. So yeah, for the style, it's got a 99. And for the overall, it's got a 98. So yeah, it's definitely considered a very stout beer. The ABV is 6.4, so you don't want to drink as many of these. Also, like I said, it's a lot thicker, so you're definitely not going to drink a bunch of these, because you're just going to get bloated and full and drunk. But this packs a wallop, so one or two of these is going to be just as much as maybe 3 or 4 of those oatmeal stouts.
Yeah, and this one sounds almost better than the last one you had to me. I don't know why. It sounds like more of a true stout than the first beer you had.
Yes.
And I feel like that roastiness I feel like it's inherent in stouts, right? I mean, it's like every stout you drink is gonna have somewhat of a roasty profile, no?
It should. I mean, if it's worth its salt, it will have a roasty profile to it, and not just the coffee roasted, but also the roasted malt as well, or whatever grain is kind of being used as the malt profile. As some of them, like the oatmeal, I guess technically is more of a cereal grain. It's not considered a malt grain, but still should have that roastiness to it. So, yeah, no, it should be inherently part of the beer style.
Nice. All right, well, that sounds great, Tim. I think we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we will do our third and final beer. What do you think?
I think that sounds fantastic.
Placement Nation's JT Rosero here, and I want to let you know that we have a ton of great podcasts available to you on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and PlacementNation.com, and we offer them to you across 2 great feeds. On the Placement Nation Wrestling feed, you can check out Scott Criscolo and me on the Mothership, the Place to Be podcast, with our famous Vintage Vault pay-per-view reviews. PTBN also covers current-day wrestling with the smash hit clotheslines and headlines, our steady veteran main event, and the beloved monthly pay-per-view reaction shows with immediate feedback on all Pro Wrestling Super Shows. Relive wrestling's past with our monthly pay-per-view rewind series led by Ben Morse, the always contentious Dangerous Alliance podcast, and Survey Says, a fun look back at the good, bad, and ugly of WCW. On our very popular Placement Nation Pop podcast feed, we offer such great shows as the Glenn Butler Podcast Hour Spectacular, Rank and File, NBA Team, Lucha Undead, Geek and Sassy, and a veritable podcast heaven for comic fans with hard-traveling fanboys, Sellers Points, Todd Weber's Conversation, and Imaginary Stories. Subscribe to both of those feeds on iTunes and rate and leave feedback for us as well. All of these shows, plus others, available at PlayStation.com, where we cover pro wrestling, sports, movies, comics, plus tournaments, and more. Be sure to support our site by using PlayStation.com/Amazon when doing your online shopping, and download our free Place to Be Vintage Vault Refresh ebooks via the links on the right-hand side of our site. We also want to thank our friends at Boneheads Wing Bar in West Warwick, Rhode Island, and Fall River, Massachusetts, TheHistoryOfWrestling.com, and Scott Keats' Blog of Doom. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well. PlacementNation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Okay, so we're back. The third and final act. This is the act where we wrap things up. This is the act where the hero has already gotten the girl, subdued the bad guys, and now he's about to walk into the sunset. In our case, we walk into there is no sunset because it's nighttime, and we don't have a girl that we just won over, obviously. And there is no bad guy, but...
And all we've been doing is drinking beer all day. We didn't save the day.
We didn't save the day at all, but the third and final beer, for me, it's always been the most interesting one because I feel like I was trying to save the best for last. In this case, I really didn't intend to do that at all. In fact, I got myself out of that mindset because I've kind of been burned in the past by doing that, I feel. So, not saving the best for last intentionally anymore. If I do have the best for last, that just happens to be a coincidence, you know what I mean? So, anyway, I'm rambling here. I apologize for that, Tim.
That's fine.
Okay, so my third and final beer. Ready for this?
Yes.
This is from Left Hand Brewing Company. Out of Longmont, Colorado. I've actually been to that brewery. I went there for work like over a year ago. Remember when the podcast Mystery Show came out? It was around that
Yes.
It was around that time. I was driving to Longmont for
show.
work. It was a great show. And I was listening to that show. I think it was the Britney Spears episode. And I remember it was raining. I remember I was driving through this weird industrial part of the city of Longmont. And I was like, there's a fucking brewery here, like, and sure enough, there it was. There was the Left Hand Brewing Company, and I got to meet the owner. I remember him giving me like 3 or 4 beers that day too.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool. And this is from that brewery. This is the Left Hand Brewery. This is their Milk Stout, by Left Hand Brewing Company. Brewed on the banks of the mighty St. Vrain, roasted malt and coffee notes build the foundation of this creamy sweet stout. ABV 6.0%. Enjoy at a 50 to 55 degree temperature in a stout glass, which I don't really have a stout glass, but that's fine. Ingredients: Rocky Mountain water, malted barley, lactose, flaked oats, hops, and yeast. So there you go.
Ah, good shit.
Yeah, I like the label, the art. It's like a purple and white or purple and beigeish label with like a cow, and there's like left hand instead of the cow having like the typical cow spots. They're left hands, literally left hand spots on the cow.
You know what's funny is I came really close to getting that same beer.
Ah, that'd have been great if we did that.
So close.
So close, so close. All right.
That's the problem with these stouts, man. There were so many options and so many beers I wanted to get.
I wish you would have gotten it. Like, if you see a Colorado beer, you should just instinctively get it, just in case I might get the same one. But it's cool to know that they sell it out there, you know?
Yeah, I know.
So, Left Hand Brewing. So here we go. I'm gonna open. This is the only beer I had tonight that's in a bottle, by the way.
Okay.
Everything else has been in a can. Oh wait, what's the other one?
I've been all bottles tonight.
Yeah, I've been mostly cans tonight. So here we go. I'm gonna pour this bad boy. It's like pouring oil, Tim. It's like pouring watery oil. No, but this has a really light brown head. I'm kind of surprised, but I guess it's because it's a milk stout. Maybe it wouldn't come out as dark, I guess. Whoa, that smells like milk. I'm not even lying to you. That has that sort of semi-milk, semi-vanilla flavor coming through the nose there. Interesting, huh?
That is interesting.
It honestly does. I've never smelled that before in a beer. This is crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and give that a try. Ooh. That's a lot more bitter than I was expecting. I was kind of expecting it to have more of a creamy, smooth sort of taste, you know, but it's a little bit more bitter than what I thought it would be.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a little bit more bitter, and let's see. I'm going to take another sip. Like, you get that sort of milky flavor in the nose as you drink it, but then once it hits your tongue, it's just like a bitter, sort of semi, but not really creamy-ish stout. It's kind of weird. I was kind of hoping it would be like the creamiest, smoothest beer I had tonight, but it's not. I think the Fort Collins beer I had earlier was the creamiest, smoothest ones I've had tonight. You know.
Right.
But this is interesting. I don't know. There's nothing that really stands out for it as far as flavor. To be honest, like it's got the bitterness. It's got this. It's not even that roasty from what you would expect from a stout.
Huh.
Either. That's what's interesting. Is that the last two beers, especially the coffee one, were super roasty. This is not that roasty at all. You know what I mean? It's just
really weird.
It's more bitter than anything else. And maybe because it's a milk stout, maybe that's why it doesn't have as much roastiness. Because maybe the milk kind of subdues that. I don't know. But
yeah, it'll give it that kind of sweeter, creamier vibe.
Yeah, I'm just getting. It's just a lot of bitterness there, not a lot of much else. And I wonder if that's because it is a milk stout. Interesting. Okay.
Probably.
So this one's all right.
Okay.
Let me pull up the rape beer while you tell me about your third and final beer, Tim.
My third and final beer is I talked about it, I think, recently. Belching Beaver Horchata Imperial Stout with Horchata.
Ooh.
It's their label art is ridiculous. They got this beaver logo that they use, and then he's wearing a sombrero on this one, and it's got the Mexican flag and this cool kind of I can't even tell what it is. It's supposed to be some kind of it's obviously like not an Aztec, but some kind of like native to Mexico tribe kind of drawing of what appears to be some kind of I can't even think of the word. Mammal, I guess would be the way to describe it. A rodent, possibly. And then, yeah, the Mexican flag colors in the background. This was only in a big boy, which I don't really drink a lot of these kind of bombers or pounders style beers. But I figured, fuck it. You know what? I wanted to try this out. I want everybody to see what it's all about. And on the back of the bottle it says it's all about the beaver. So keep that in mind, y'all. And I'll go ahead and give it a pour. I hope that picked up well, because that was a nice pour.
That sounded fantastic, by the way. That's an NPR style pour right there.
Good. I'm happy you could hear it. The way I poured it was good for effects, but not great. I think you got about 2.5 inches of head on the top there, maybe 2 inches even. It's nice
2
and
inches,
dark.
but it's thick.
Yes, definitely thick. Let me see if it can pass that. What is it? The Boston Lager test where you can float a bottle cap on the head. No, that's not gonna happen. I don't even think that's real. They always say that you can do that. The head dissipates quickly. It's paler. It's in between tan. It's not really brown. Body doesn't look super thick. Kind of moves around in the glass. I think unfortunately my olfactory senses are just shot at this point.
I think we're both shot tonight, man, because like
from drinking and
yeah, because I'm reading the description of my beer and it's like I'm not tasting what these people are saying on Rapier. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
my taste buds are fine, but my smell is gone.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Just trying to make sure that I'm gonna appreciate this beer.
Right.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, god damn. On the front, when you first taste it, it's like a little sweet punch, and then in the back, where it would normally subside into the bitter roastiness, it actually subsides into more of a it's creamy, and it's got that cinnamon. It's horchata for sure comes through on this one perfectly. They did such a good job with that. It's got, you can obviously feel something underneath, kind of roasty darkness coming through, but very, very minimal compared to the horchata from beginning to end. As I said, it's up front sweet, punchy sweet, and then in the back end it's got kind of a mix of bittersweet with cinnamon and chocolate and milky creaminess like horchata. This is fantastic.
That sounds really delicious.
It sure is.
And I have to say really quick, I feel like I was a little unfair with the beer I just had. Because the more I've been sipping on it, the more I do get a sort of a milky, creamy taste to it. I feel like at first, the first few sips I took were super bitter, and I think the bitterness kind of goes down the more you drink it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if that's an actual thing. Like as far as the chemicals and stuff go of whatever is found in these beers, but I find that the more I drink it, the more I get used to it, and it tastes better to me. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. It's kind of like being in an abusive relationship. The longer you're in it, the more it just feels like it's normal.
That's really dark.
I know. I'm kidding. But America is now in an abusive relationship with our president. But hey, that'll be fun.
Hey, you know what? You should go watch the play Hamilton. I hear the cast is really interactive with the audience, by the way.
Oh, God. Oh, man. That's a fantastic.
Is that a deep cut reference right there?
I think that's pretty. Everyone knows about that, I think. But we'll see by the time this comes out. People remember it, huh? So... This is 9% alcohol per volume, which is pretty good. Pretty boozy. It's definitely going to get you going.
Holy shit, that's strong, dude.
This has a style of 57.
Wow.
So I can see that because it's not a super strong stout when it comes to being a stout. As I said, this tastes like horchata through and through. But the overall is 96. So even if it's not necessarily within the realm of what people expect when they try to drink a stout, they definitely people are enjoying it and they like it. So it's good for what it is, but it's not good for what it is, but it's good, if that makes sense.
I hear you. And I was going to say, let me ask you this really quick. Of all the 3 beers you've had tonight, if you were to try to introduce someone to stouts, which one would you have them start with?
Oatmeal stout. The Blarney Oatmeal Stout.
Okay. And
What about you?
I would have them start with this one, this milk stout by Left Hand Brewing, only because the more honestly, I feel a little bad. I was a bit unfair in the beginning. This actually, the more I drink it, the better it tastes. It doesn't taste as bitter anymore. You definitely do get some of that milky, creamy flavor around your tongue and your mouth when you sip it. And there's no weird aftertaste. There's no lingering weird taste that you get. There's hardly any alcohol coming in this, and it's actually really good, Tim. And to give you the score really quick, it's a 95.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Really good. It's only 6% ABV, so you could drink several of these and be fine. You know what I mean?
Right, you could just pound them back.
This is a beer that you could definitely. What's the word? Session? A session beer.
I don't know about sessioning that. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess you could.
Is there a more
not too
technical? Is there a more technical way to use the word session when it comes to beer drinking?
No, you're right. I mean, it's just I think the ABV is a little high for so. I mean, what was the ABV?
It's 6%. This is like the weakest beer I've had tonight. I think.
I guess I could see it as a session stout. That's a little high for a session beer, though.
You're right, actually, and I was wrong. This is not the the Santa Fe was a 8% ABV, and the Fort Collins was a 5.8%. Okay, so this is a little bit stronger than this is in the middle between those two, but I like it. I want to rescind my original opinion on this beer, and the one that you have sounds good too. What do you think? I mean, overall.
Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. But that Blarney one, like I said, would be the best, or Barney, I think it was the best one for introducing people to.
Well, that's good. I think we've learned a lot tonight about ourselves, about what we enjoy to drink, and about stouts in general. I think this has been a very productive, very educational episode, if you don't mind my saying.
I think you're right, but I think it's probably time for us to jump to our last break.
It is
and
time.
And when we come back,
we are going to announce our top beer. Yes?
Yes.
The PWO PTBN feed has changed its name, now it will be known simply as Pro Wrestling Only, so it should be easier to find and indeed to say. All of your favourite shows are still here, including Where the Big Boys Play, Letters from Kayfabe, Titans of Wrestling, Tag Teams Back Again, This Week in Wrestling, and many, many more, including our full archives of tremendous content. So make sure you subscribe to the Pro Wrestling Only feed today.
Okay, Tim, we're back, and this is the time. This is the very last part of the third act where we wrap things up. We tie any loose ends that we need to tie. We maybe do some house cleaning. I don't know, but this is the time in our show, anyways, where we announce our top beer. Yes. Okay. So, Tim.
That was great, the way that you faded out of the echo.
Good stuff, right?
That was
Good
amazing.
stuff.
Amazing.
I'm glad you like it. I'm going to let you do the honors first. What was your top beer tonight?
Horchata Stout.
Nice.
I thought it was going to be the, that's why I drank it last. I mean, obviously we both, I think, try to do it. We try to predict our top beer as being our last beer, right?
Yeah.
Seems that way. We both do all right most of the time. Sometimes we don't. That Deschutes Obsidian Stout gave it a run for its money. It was some good stuff. It was solidly stout territory. In fact, if you're a stout fan, I'd say go get that one, number one. That's probably the best stout out of the barrel or the bunch when it comes to being a stout. But I love horchata. I love that cinnamon, sweet, creamy, just fucking fantastic drink, and it harkens back to cheap, shitty tacos that you're eating in the street. You're either drunk or just poor, one or the other, and
usually both.
Yeah, probably both. One became because of the other, or vice versa. But yeah, and it's just, you know what I'm talking about. You got the little limes, you got the cheap cilantro that you don't know if you're going to get salmonella from the cilantro or not in the pico de gallo.
Only one way to find out.
That's it. And you get that nice horchata that's probably been sitting all day, but it doesn't fucking matter because it's just sweet and delicious. But as I said, it's also got that mix. It's got the kind of coffee roastiness in the background. You can tell it's probably a decent stout underneath it all, but it's all about that horchata flavor up front. The Belching Beaver have multiple varieties. They even have a honey stout, so they do the same stout with honey. They do the same stout with peanut butter, milk, chocolate, coffee, everything. So go try them all out, see what you're into. But for me, I love horchata, so I love this. You know what I mean? That it does it for me big time. And then that's not to say that it's not with merit. As I talked about, the Obsidian is probably the best stout, and the Barney Stout from Anderson Valley is probably the best kind of introduction stouts. So all three of my beers have different places and different kind of roles that they fill, but they're all definitely enjoyable. Yeah. So Adrian, now it's your turn to be on the hot seat. What is your top beer?
Okay, so I got to be honest with you, Tim. I was honestly going to go with the Fort Collins stout that I had, the shot down stout. But the more I drank this milk stout by Left Hand Brewing, the more. In fact, this is the only beer I've had tonight that I'm actually finishing. Believe it or not, because I enjoyed it the more I drank it. The one by Santa Fe Brewing Company, the Java Stout, the Imperial Java Stout, it was good, but it's not something that I can drink all the time, honestly. And I drank this milk stout, and it doesn't have a crazy amount of roastiness to it, which I kind of like. And it does have that sort of creaminess to it, that sort of milky creaminess to it. It doesn't taste super strong, and I honestly have to go with Left Hand Brewing's Milk Stout as my top beer tonight. That's it. I'm going with it. I'm finishing it tonight,
Nice.
and it's my top beer. It's really good, and honestly, if you've never had a stout before, that's why I asked you. Like, I would introduce people to this one. I would say start with this one because it's really good, and then once you're sort of used to it, then you sort of graduate to more stoutier beers, quote unquote stoutier. And see what else you like. But for the most part, I think this is the perfect introductory beer for a stout, and this is a stout that I could drink on the regular, to be honest with you. So there you go.
Well, there we are. We're here now.
I'm a little jealous that you really enjoyed yours, because remember I had a horchata beer by Blue Moon on one of our shot episodes, and it wasn't that great. It wasn't that great, and the one that you had just tonight sounds really delicious.
Well, that's because I think that horchata one was just like a horchata ale, right? It was like a white ale or whatever it was.
It was.
And this one is a stout, and I think that's what makes the difference. Is we talked about it earlier on, is that the stouts have a better backbone to be like have all this stuff added to them, and I think that's why like just a random white ale is not the beer to be adding horchata to. It just isn't. So that's why I think this one delivered quite a bit more.
Definitely. All right, Tim. Well, that sounds fantastic. I think we had another successful top beer episode. Is there anything that you want to plug before we go?
Let's see. I'm doing the ROH reviews over at Wrestling with Words now weekly. Just starting out, so I don't really have a rhythm yet as to when they'll be coming out. But like this week's came out on I think like Friday. So expect them to come out earlier than that, probably Tuesday, Wednesday range regularly. Next week is Thanksgiving, so that might not even be correct. Match of the Week Club, which I've been talking about for a while, has expanded to 2 matches per week, so it's actually, I guess, Matches of the Week Club this past week. We did 2 different matches, 2 totally different styles. It's going to kind of fit 2 different stories for the matches of the Match of the Week Club. It's going to be one match that's more or less, I guess, not mainstream, but a little bit more accessible. And the other one is going to be the deep dive into that dirty grime area of stuff. And then otherwise, I mean, This Week in Wrestling, that's kind of the mothership. That's my biggest kind of podcast that I do. It has broken apart into 3 episodes now, so it's not as big. Luckily for me, as I'm doing the editing, it's a lot easier for me to process the smaller sound files. The episodes are in the 45-minute to hour and a half range instead of being 3 and 4 hours now. So that's good. They're coming out at different intervals. Feels like me and Pete are getting to a rhythm where our international indie episode will be coming out usually on a Friday, coinciding with the Match of the Week Club, and then going into your weekend. If you got any kind of, you can listen to us talk about whatever random indie show we happen to catch that week, and then you can decide if you want to give it a shot over your free time on the weekend. Then we'll probably have Saturday, Sunday range is when our WWE stuff will be coming out, leading into Monday Night Raw the next night, and then probably Monday, Tuesday, or maybe Tuesday, Wednesday range, you'll be hearing the NWA Classics on Demand stuff. So maybe Tuesday after SmackDown, you can hear them talk about some good wrestling from a bygone era down in Texas. Or maybe Wednesday, when there isn't any other wrestling really going on, you can listen to them talking about some older matches, get excited for some stuff from yesteryear gone by. I mean, shit, the stuff is from before I was born. I still really appreciate it, though. And I'm an old school cat when it comes to this kind of stuff. So for me, that stuff that even came out before I was born, I could still really appreciate. So I'd recommend everybody just go out and give that a listen. And then the biggest final thing, as I always say, is just make sure to follow on Twitter at Lucha Undead. Adrian, I know that was a lot. What do you got to plug?
Really quick, you said NWA?
Yes, NWA.
That sounds like some Easy-E listening. I see what I did there.
It's easily listened to.
And you certainly don't need any hearing aids to listen to that. Listen,
That's true.
Okay, so I don't have anything to plug besides my Twitter at Dillaboots. I do want to say, I did tease this a little bit on our Twitter account. I went to a brewery out here in Colorado very recently, and we are going to release an episode on that after the next Top Beer episode will be that episode. It's the first time that we go outside of outside of our apartments and do something a little different. So I'm actually really excited for that.
Kind of.
Well,
we did do brews on the road.
Besides that, obviously, which
yes.
It's a shame I forgot about that. Sorry. This is the first time I go out of the apartment by myself to do something for Top Beer. So I am really excited about it, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. I'm going to try to do it as a sort of NPR style narrative type episode. I don't know what my angle is going to be, obviously, because there's some sort of there's a certain way you want to tell a story like that. And then how do you get a story out of visiting a brewery? Well, we'll see, right? So so listen for that. And definitely tune into us. Tune into Lucha and Dead, get our Getting to Know series. I think that's been going fantastic lately. We've had some amazing guests, I think, on. Well, since we started, but especially recently, so it's been fun. So Tim, I know we have a nice little saying that we like to go out with. What is that saying? Can you tell us that really quick?
You know what that saying is.
I know. I think hear you say it.
Even in these darkest of times, or the light times when you're going out to the brewery, the breweries are fine. And getting to spend some time with your family over the holidays. Thanksgiving's coming up when this comes out. Awesome. Family is important, but nothing, and I mean nothing, in this world compares to the three most important things in this world, which is good beers, good buds, and as Skill asked, I think after we were done recording, those buds can be whichever kind you're looking for. They can be human buds, they can be animal buds, they can even be green buds. Mm-hmm. And the most important of all, when it really comes down to it, remember this when you're at that dinner table and maybe your uncle's popping off a little bit too much. You're not being gotten to just because your uncle is talking about maybe he voted for someone you don't agree with. No, because you're just getting in there and you're just enjoying the banter, baby. The good banter. Good night.